Hi, this is Mrs. Wright, librarian, and today I want to share with you 5 books with fantastic female protagonists for 5th graders. It goes without saying that books are for everybody, so I hope everybody who's watching this video can find a book that they would like to enjoy. The first book I want to share with you is called Millicent Min, Girl Genius. It's written by Lisa Yee, who I really love as an author. This book is part of a quartet. So there are 4 different characters who go to the same middle school, and their stories all overlap a little bit. Another one that I really like from that quartet is called Warp Speed, and it's about a boy who really connects with Star Trek and those characters, and he's feeling sort of left out when his elementary school friend becomes really popular on the basketball team. That's a good one too. But this one I especially love. So Millicent Min is brilliant, and she has skipped a grade. And she's really excited to be taking college classes this summer for the first time because she thinks, oh, finally I'll meet people who will connect with me intellectually. But then all the students in the class just end up not really paying attention, and they only want her for her notes and stuff. And so she connects to the professor, but not really any of her classmates still. And her parents make her sign up for volleyball, which she really hates. And she meets another friend who also hates it, so they bond over their mutual hatred of volleyball. And when she meets this friend who's new to town, she doesn't tell her that how old she really is and what grade that she skipped a grade, because she doesn't want her to know the truth. Because as soon as people find out the truth about her grade skipping, they tend to treat her as this sort of other thing instead of really getting to know her. So she's trying to navigate her way socially and to connect with her family, and also to find people who share her interests. I find her really appealing, and I love this book. The next book I want to share with you is called The War That Saved My Life. It's written by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley, and it is a historical fiction book. Sorry, there's a glare there. This book is fantastic. It's set in the days of World War II in London when this really happened. People sent the children outside of London because they thought it was going to be bombed in the war, so they wanted to keep the kids safe. So they sent them to the countryside to live with families who they didn't know. And they just put all the children on the train. Well, not every child, but a lot of children on the train. And they were to stay with families until it was supposed to be safe for them to come back. Well, Ada was born with a club foot. So she couldn't walk properly. And she had a younger brother. She was supposed to watch him and take care of him. And her mother isn't really around very much. And when she is, she doesn't give Ada and Jamie enough food. Jamie's the younger brother. She doesn't speak kindly to them. And she doesn't really have very much hope that Ada can do anything. So she makes her stay shut up inside the apartment all day, every day. So when they're getting ready to ship out, Ada figures out how to get on the train too so she can go. So this family they end up staying with has horses, and Ada falls in love with this horse, and she just decides, okay, well, I'm going to start my whole new life over away from my mom. And I should tell you, the mom is really quite abusive and neglectful. And so to see Ada start over and find success is just really, really inspiring. It's like, yeah, go. So you can't help but root for her, even though she makes plenty of mistakes along the way. So it's just a really wonderful book. All's Fair in Middle School is written by Victoria Jamieson. You may know her from Roller Girl. This is a graphic novel. And what I really like about this story, and what I like about Victoria Jamieson's work anyway, is that she really connects to real hardcore peer conflict. So realistic conflicts between friends. So the main character in this book, her family works at a Renaissance festival, not full-time, but part-time. So in the summer, she has this whole separate extra family of people who work there. So they have like sword making demonstrations, and they dress up in all the fancy Renaissance clothing and everything. So that's her world in the summertime. And she decides, well, her family decides that she has to go to middle school. She's been homeschooled before. So just getting into the groove of middle school and meeting new friends, that's a challenge. And then when the middle school friends show up at her family's Renaissance festival, it sort of collides 2 worlds that she's not used to bringing together. So this is a great story about, are you going to be loyal to the promises you make and the things you really care about, or are you going to kind of create some image to impress other people? I think a lot of us can relate to that. So it's a good story for exploring the honest, ugly truth about how we get along with people when we're first trying to figure that out. Out of of My Mind by Sharon Draper is an older book, but it is a fabulous book. Melody is a character who is not able to speak with her throat, and she's not able to move very much. She's in a wheelchair. And she finally gets a communication device so that she can communicate with her family and her school. And finally, they realize that she is really smart and she has a lot to say. And she hasn't been able to say it for a really long time. So it's really frustrating. So she joins her school's quiz bowl team. And at first, they don't even think, they think somehow she cheated or that her aide helped her with the answers or something, because they just don't even understand how she can be that smart, because they've never seen anybody like her before. So she faces a lot of ignorance from other people, but she proves them wrong, which is really empowering and awesome. And I think people can really relate to that frustration of having people see you, but not really see you, no matter what situation you're in. I think we can all connect to that. So Melody is a character I think a lot of people will like. And my last book to share with you today is called Sahara Special. And she's another character I really, really appreciate. Her dad left recently in this book as it opens, and she's really having a hard time with that. She's really, her life has fallen apart, and she writes letters to him that she never sends because she doesn't know where he is. And so as she works her way through school, she just decides, well, what's the point of doing any assignments? I'm not going to raise my hand. I'm not going to do any assignments. And they fail her, and she has to repeat 5th grade. So the beginning of the book is just about that consequence and that decision. So as she begins her new 5th grade year, she has to try and decide, am I going to raise my hand? Am I going to complete the work? And Sahara is a gifted writer. She's got lots of interesting things to contribute, but she's not sure if she should bother or not. So that's the main conflict in the story. And I find her really compelling, and I think you will too. So I hope you find something interesting to read today and tomorrow and all the days. Happy reading.